Stop what you are doing and step back from your garden. Today, we're not talking about beautiful blooms or easy fixes. We're talking about danger. Right now, there are 10 plants hiding in your yard, in your containers, or even in your local nursery that are a direct and immediate public threat. Some are so violently invasive, they can destroy your home's foundation. Others are so lethally toxic, they can kill your pet with a single bite. These are common, celebrated plants that the industry is selling you, and they won't warn you about the consequences. Before we get into this definitive list, if this video saves your garden, hit that subscribe button now and ring the notification bell to join the Garden Sprout crew. Get your pruners ready because this is the list. The 10 plants you must immediately remove from your garden. The first entry on the list is one you likely have in your garden right now, English ivy. Don't be fooled by its innocent look as a ground cover. This plant is a literal structural terrorist, and I call it the green cancer. English ivy is a high-climbing vine that sends sticky, aerial rootlets into everything it touches. On a healthy tree, it traps moisture, accelerates rot, and adds thousands of pounds of weight, turning your tree into a deadly sail waiting to topple in the next storm. That is a $5,000 property hazard. If it climbs your brickwork, those rootlets burrow into your mortar, cracking your foundation and promoting decay. If you see this plant climbing, you must cut it at the base immediately. Do not try to pull it off. You will tear your bark or your mortar. Sever the lifeline, let it die, and protect your assets. This is a public threat you must remove now. Number 2 is a plant that is a literal death sentence for the smallest members of your family, the sago palm. Many of you have this beautiful, tropical-looking plant indoors or on your patio, but every single part of this plant is lethally toxic. It contains the toxin Ricin, which causes acute liver failure in dogs and cats. I'm telling you, ingestion of just a single seed, which dogs love to chew on, has an extremely high fatality rate, even with immediate veterinary care. If you have a pet, this is not a choice. It is a crisis waiting to happen. The symptoms, like vomiting and bruising, are horrific, but the damage is done internally to the liver. This plant does not belong in any home with animals. Do the right thing right now. Remove and dispose of it safely. Your pet's life depends on it. Moving to number 3, we have a common nursery darling, often sold as an easy solution ground cover, Periwinkle, or Vinca. It has attractive flowers and stays green all year, which is why people plant it. But what the label won't tell you is that this plant is a hostile takeover artist that creates what gardeners call the Vinca desert. Once established, Vinca spreads relentlessly by sending out runners that root everywhere, forming a dense, thick mat. It smothers and chokes out every single native plant, every delicate perennial, and every daffodil trying to emerge. It will literally sterilize your soil, leaving no room for anything else to grow. If you have this plant next to your garden beds or natural areas, you are actively encouraging its destructive spread. You need to rip this out, root and stem. If you can't fully eliminate it, you must use deep and permanent edging to contain its brutal ambition. Vinca is not a ground cover, it's a suffocating blanket. If the first 3 plants weren't scary enough, number 4 is the one plant you must never, under any circumstance, touch: the giant hogweed. This towering plant looks like an innocent, oversized Queen Anne's lace, but it is classified as a federal noxious weed for a terrifying reason. The danger lies in its sap. This sap contains a compound called furanocoumarins, which causes a severe skin reaction known as phytophotodermatitis. Here's the crisis. When the sap touches your skin and is exposed to sunlight, it causes severe third-degree burns, massive blistering, and permanent scarring. Do not try to remove this yourself without a full hazmat suit. If the sap gets into your eyes, It can cause temporary or even permanent blindness. If you see this plant, it can grow up to 15 feet tall. Stop, retreat, and immediately contact your local agriculture department. This is not just a plant. It is a biohazard waiting to happen. Now, for the fifth plant, we move from structural damage and external burns to internal death. This is the beautiful tropical-looking castor bean plant, or Ricinus communis. While sold as an ornamental annual with its striking red foliage, this plant is quietly hosting one of the deadliest toxins on Earth, ricin. The toxin is concentrated in the small, mottled bean-like shapes, which look strangely appealing to children or pets. Experts estimate that ingesting just 1 or 2 well-chewed castor beans can contain a lethal dose for an adult. Ricin works by shutting down the protein production within your body cells, leading to catastrophic organ failure within days. There is no antidote. This plant is cheap, highly dangerous, and far too accessible. If you have kids or pets, you are taking an insane, unnecessary risk. The castor bean plant is a walking container of pure poison, and it must be eliminated from your landscape today. Next, we move from a seemingly romantic icon that is actually a brutal architectural predator, Wisteria. While its gorgeous purple blooms are famous for photos, the non-native Chinese and Japanese varieties are an active threat to your home's integrity. Wisteria doesn't cling, it actively strangles. Its woody vines are notoriously aggressive. They coil around anything they touch, whether it's a tree, a metal post, or your wooden porch, and tighten with immense force, causing girdling that can kill a mature tree in a decade. Worse, if you let it climb your home, its thick, rope-like stems will snake into the tiniest cracks in your brickwork, pry apart gutters, and even bend steel supports. You are literally growing a slow, botanical wrecking ball on your property. If you have wisteria next to your foundation or structural elements, sever the main vine immediately or prepare to pay thousands of dollars in repairs. The final plant we must highlight is a classic cottage garden beauty with a dark secret, the foxglove. This plant is not just toxic. It contains cardiac glycosides that are used to make heart medication, but in an unregulated form, they are extremely lethal. Every part of the plant, the stem, the bell-shaped flowers, and especially the seeds, are potent. Ingesting any part is like giving an uncontrolled electric shock to the heart. Symptoms are severe: vomiting, tremors, and a frighteningly irregular or slowed heartbeat, often leading to cardiac failure. There is no safe dose for children or pets. If ingestion is suspected, this is an absolute medical emergency. If you own this plant, you are housing pure raw heart poison, and it must be pulled out now. At number 8, we spotlight a plant that is silently undermining your entire property, running bamboo. Not all bamboo is bad, but the running species are a subterranean nightmare. People plant it for a quick screen, but they don't realize its root system, called rhizomas, are aggressive weapons. These rhizomes spread horizontally, and they can travel up to 30 feet from the main clump completely unseen. They are strong enough to exploit and widen tiny cracks in concrete, push up through asphalt driveways, and infiltrate drain pipes, causing massive blockages and foundation damage. In many regions, the damage from running bamboo is now compared to, or even considered worse than Japanese knotweed. Once it gets under your house or into your neighbor's yard, you are looking at tens of thousands of dollars in professional excavation and legal fees. If you have running bamboo, you must install an expensive, permanent root barrier immediately, or get rid of it entirely. Moving to number 9, we have the aptly named but utterly deceitful tree of heaven. This fast-growing, weedy tree was once imported as an ornamental, but it is now one of the worst invasive species globally. It smells terrible, its wood is weak, and it is a pure ecosystem killer. The Tree of Heaven is a multi-layered threat. First, it spreads relentlessly through thousands of wind-blown seeds and aggressive root suckers that can crack pavements. Second, it is allelopathic, meaning it releases a powerful chemical into the soil to poison and sterilize the area, preventing other native plants from growing. Third, its presence is now dangerously linked to the invasive spotted lanternfly. This tree is nothing but a pest factory and a structural liability. You must treat it with strong herbicides, as merely cutting it down only prompts its roots to send up hundreds of new hateful sprouts. Cut it, poison it, and eradicate it completely. We end our list with the most notorious plant of all time, poison hemlock. This is the plant used to execute Socrates, and it remains deadly today. It looks innocent, resembling harmless wild carrots or parsley, which is the cruelest part of its nature. Every part of the plant, the stem, leaves, and carrot-like root contains toxic alkaloids, which are fast-acting neurotoxins. Ingesting even a small amount causes progressive muscle paralysis that begins in your extremities and eventually paralyzes your respiratory system, leading to death by suffocation. There is no known antidote. Its signature identifying mark is a smooth, hollow stem covered in distinctive purple or red blotches. If you see this tall spotted plant, do not touch it, do not mow it, and do not let children near it. Poison hemlock is a silent, historical killer, and it is still waiting in gardens and along roadsides everywhere. There you have it. 10 plants that do not belong in your garden or near your home. Remember, always identify plants correctly before you prune, touch, or pull. Safety in your landscape is up to you. Which one of these dangerous beauties are you going to remove first? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more plant warnings and stay safe out there.